In a world that rushes and resists, we often forget the quiet wisdom of simply flowing. Laozi once said, "Follow the way of nature, not to control, not to force, but to live gently in harmony with how things are." Today, let us pause and return to that ancient truth. Peace doesn't come from control, it comes from alignment. Following the way of nature, returning to harmony with all things. From the very beginning, humankind lived in harmony with nature, eating according to the seasons, resting with the sun, flowing with the rhythm of the earth. But as civilization advanced, we slowly drifted away from that natural rhythm, forgetting the original pulse of life. Laozi, a sage of the East, saw this clearly and taught, "Follow the way of nature, for it is the most peaceful, wise, and awakened way to live." But what does it truly mean to follow nature? It does not mean resignation or laziness. Rather, it is a form of deep mindfulness, knowing when to strive and when to let go, understanding what is essential and what is not. One who follows nature does not force a bud to bloom early, nor does he blame the rain for falling on the wrong day. Instead, he lives in quiet observation, deeply attuned to the rising and falling of all things, and walks a path that is gentle yet deep, soft yet steady. There was once someone who said, "All I want is a quiet cabin in the woods, where no one disturbs me." But when he finally arrived in that peaceful place, his heart was still restless. Why? Because nature is not just trees or birdsong. It is a state of being. To truly follow nature, the mind must first be free of its own unrest. Think of water, one of Laozi's most beloved metaphors. Water does not compete, does not force. It bends to the land, flows where it can, nourishes all it touches without asking for praise. It is gentle, yet it can wear away mountains. That is the wisdom of following nature. No need to prove, no need to push. Just be what you are, and flow where life leads. In today's world, we are constantly pulled by the urge to achieve, to possess, to rise above. But we forget, everything has its time. A seed cannot bear fruit in one day. Love cannot be rushed. Healing cannot be forced. To follow nature is to be patient, allowing life to unfold in its own way, without clinging, without control. When we follow nature, we learn to smile even on rainy days, knowing the earth is resting. We no longer fear stillness, for it is where inner growth begins. We welcome the imperfect, for it too plays its part in the grand harmony of life. And more than anything, following nature means returning to ourselves. It is no longer about fitting in or chasing someone else's dream. It is about living honestly, listening deeply, and walking gently. Sometimes, to follow nature simply means to slow down, to sip a cup of tea and truly taste it, to watch the sunset without thinking of tomorrow, to realize that even in its flaws, life is profoundly beautiful once we stop fighting it. Because, as Laozi taught, the way of heaven is non-striving, yet it brings everything to completion. And one who follows that way walks with peace in a world that is constantly in motion.